What up, guys? Casa here with another tutorial video on how to modify equipment using advanced mode on Save Wizard to modify equipment on Nioh 2. So, really quick, a couple things that you're going to need in order to make this happen. You're going to need a Save Wizard, USB stick, and then you're also going to need uh, what's the name of this thing? The Save Wizard Neo 2 item list. Now, the item list is the most important thing, um, because it has all the hex IDs for every single item in the game. It is a comprehensive list created by the great folks in the Neo 2 Save Wizard Discord. Um, and if you'd like to get a copy of your own, all you got to do is join the Discord. It's in the pin. It's in the pinned messages. You download it. At which point you can go ahead and use it as a point of reference to figure out which items you want to modify and so on and so forth. Okay. So in today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and modify the Zenki and Goki hatchets and the tiger skin helmet. The plan is for the Zenki and Goki, I'm gonna get rid of active skill damage, and I'm going to add, and I'm gonna get rid of the Grace of Susano, and I'm going to replace those two effects with 20% melee damage versus purified enemy, and I'm going to replace the Susano Grace with the Ame no Uzume Grace. Okay. For the Tiger Skin helmet, it's a little bit less complicated. All I plan on doing is changing the attack bonuses to match that of Zenki and Goki. So instead of it being heart, skill, strength, it'll be courage, magic, and skill on the helmet. Okay. First and foremost, I want to apologize for my recording setup, but unfortunately, this is the best I can do. Uh, as it stands, I don't have any proper recording equipment. I literally have my cell phone in my hand, attached to a little stand, and I'm going to try my best to record this video for you guys because that's how much I love y'all. So, let's get started. Now, on my laptop, I've already gone through the process of uploading my save to my USB stick and opening advanced mode on my laptop. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to point out to you guys before we really get into the nitty gritty. Okay, first and foremost, whenever you decide you're going to modify a piece of equipment, for me, the simplest way to do it, the simplest and quickest way to do it, is to make sure that that piece of equipment is in your inventory. Okay, if you planning on modifying a couple of pieces of equipment, make sure those pieces of equipment are in your inventory and go ahead and deposit everything else into your storage box. The reason being is I'll show you here in a second why it's so much easier to modify equipment from your inventory versus when it's in the storage box here in just a few moments. Um, but the simplest reason is, like I said, it'll just make your life a lot easier doing it this way. You'll find items quicker, and like I said, once you get more and more familiar with advanced mode, um, you'll start to notice things that are pretty repetitive and pretty common. Once you've modified a couple pieces of equipment, you can pretty much modify anything within the game. So, like I said, make sure the equipment's in your inventory. That's like the biggest thing. Another thing, um, to help find equipment pieces much easier, um, what I like to do is I like to refashion some of my equipment. Like I'll make my Zenki and Goki look completely different than what they originally do. And the reason being is, let's say for example, you're modifying a couple of hatchets that are the same, or if you're modifying a couple of pieces of armor that are the same, you know it can get pretty confusing within advanced mode and lead to you modifying equipment that you're not trying to modify in the first place. So using the refashion tool in the smithy kind of helps with searching for a very hyper specific item that you're looking to modify, and modify that particular item only, and then going on to the next item and so on and so forth. So those are just a couple of my tips and tricks to make using advanced mode a lot easier. Um, just to touch back on that again, like I said, make sure the items in your inventory. If you're planning on modifying several different pieces of equipment, you want to make sure those pieces of equipment are in your inventory and put everything else that you're not going to modify into your storage box. Like I said, it'll make finding stuff so much easier, okay? And last but not least, if you're planning on modifying several pieces of the same equipment, so like I said, let's say you're modifying 5 tiger skin helmets or 5 red demon gauntlets, the best way to make sure that you're modifying any particular one of those five, you want to make sure that you've refashioned all 5 of them to look different, and then use the Nioh 2 item list to find the hex IDs of each of those items to search for them within the bin within advanced mode, which I'll demonstrate here in just a few moments. Okay, so let's start with Zenki and Goki. Okay, so Zenki and Goki are a pair of hatchets. Um, Nothing, and then that's about it. A pair of hatchets that apply purity, um, status effect, and hold on one second while I open up the item list because for some reason it's acting silly. Of course it is while I'm making a video. I apologize. Let's see if I can do it this way. Okay. All right. So Zenki and Goki, hit the search bar, search for Zenki and Goki. All right. So the hex ID, and the hex ID for Zenki and Goki is going to be 27B7. So what you're going to do is you're going to go here to this little search icon, and in the find what, you're going to put the numbers 27B7. Okay? Real simple. Now, my Zenki and Goki has been refashioned to look like, give me a second, to look like wave cutter hatchets, right? So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is look for the hex ID for the wave cutter. Okay. I could just use these 4 numbers right here and go through the hassle of looking for it, but you'll see in just a second what I'm talking about. So wave cutter is FC90. FC90. Okay. There you go. You see it right there. Give it a second to. There you go. FC90. All right. So when you hit OK or find, it's going to take you exactly to where that item is in your storage box. Okay. It'll be highlighted so you know exactly, so you know for a fact that you are where that item is in the game. Okay. Now, another tip and trick that I like to do just to make sure is I always click the find previous button just to make sure that there aren't any just random hatchets sitting around in my inventory. Okay, I always hit find previous, right before I start messing around with stuff, just to make sure everything is everything. It didn't move, so there we go. So I mentioned earlier that having items in your inventory is much easier to modify versus having items that are in your storage box, and here's why. Okay, every single item that's sitting in your inventory, well, not every single item. I'll just say for equipment, okay? I don't want to give false information. So every single piece of equipment, and this is weapons, armor, etc., etc. If it's sitting in your inventory, the code is going to start from this point. And if you've taken the moment to read the tutorial, the hex tutorial that's on the Save Wizard Discord, um, every example that they've given starts from this point. You see where my mouse is? Starts from this point of code. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happens when you're dealing with items that are in your storage box. Okay. Well, actually, before I even do that, so this is why it's so much easier to do it from your inventory. Okay. So for example, right, here's your code. Here's the item. Here's the what the item looks like in the game. Okay. So 27B7 is the Zenki and Goki hatchets. FC90 is the wave cutter hatchets, right? Then next is the quantity. Quantity of one. You only need one. You don't need a million of them or anything of the sort. BE is the level of the item. So this is the current level. This is the level that it was found at or it was acquired at, whatever. 1E is the plus value of the item. This is just random numbers. I don't know nothing about that. I don't mess with that. This number right here is the quality. So for example, you have common, uncommon, rare, or yeah, rare, exotic, divine, and ethereal. This is the number that makes any item in your inventory ethereal. And again, this is equipment stuff. Okay. Um, Again, a bunch of random numbers. I don't know nothing about that. I don't mess with these numbers. Um, and then here you have where one of the first effects shows up on the item. Okay, BFA7 is imbue purity plus 100. Okay, now as you get more and more familiar with advanced mode and the hex IDs and so on and so forth, um, you'll be able to just see these numbers and automatically know what they are. It's all about repetitiveness. It's all about, just doing it over and over and over and over and over again until it just becomes muscle memory. I can look at this item and I can tell you exactly which is what everything is just by looking at the numbers. So for, like I said, BFA7 and Imbue Purity plus 100, 2B78 is active skill damage 8%. D086 is attack power plus 76. 97FC is going to be, hold on one second. If I'm not mistaken, that's a courage, right? 97FC. 68CE, that's going to be the Grace of Susano. Uh 028B, that's attack bonus magic, and then A70F, that is attack bonus skill. Now, every single special effect has the same setup, okay? So you have the special effect, okay? Afterwards, you have the magnitude, okay? So let me try to highlight it. So here's the special effect, here's the magnitude, and then here is the footer, okay? Every single effect on an item is going to be set up just like that. Effect, magnitude, footer, okay? It's not going to change no matter if you're looking at a scroll, no matter if you're looking at a soul cord, no matter if you're looking at a sword, no matter if you're looking at a piece of, at a helmet. I will say that out of all the items in the game, the scrolls are the ones that are kind of like, you know, still like a mystery to some degree regarding some of the code, but even in that, they're still pretty much the same thing in terms of modifying. Okay, so um, like I said, effect, magnitude, footer. Now, magnitude is exactly what it sounds like. It determines the power of the effect that you've applied to the equipment. Now, before update, I want to say 112, 1.12. Before that update, there was this thing called God mode, right? That's gone. Team Ninja put a stop to all of that and capped every single special effect in the game. So the short of it is there's no point there's not going to be any point in which you're ever going to mess with the magnitude of any effect in the game. The only thing you're ever going to have to do is apply the effect and mess around with the footer. That's it. Now, the footer that you want to always have on any effect is going to be 007F02. Okay, that's the general rule of thumb. If you don't know much about the footers, what this does is it sets the effect to its maximum. Okay, it's not going to go no lower, no higher. It's just going to be the maximum. Whatever the cap is, will be set on that footer. Will be set on that effect using this footer. Now, sometimes when you're using some of the QC codes, the quick codes provided by Save Wizard and some of the folks in the Save Wizard Discord as well, um, this value may change, but it doesn't matter if it does. The only time you actually need to set that footer is when you're initially modifying equipment. Okay, once you've modified it and it's been uh, 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 you've uploaded it to the game. The game itself will do whatever it does on the back end and change this typically to this particular one, 10.6.7 or what was it? 10.2.7. I'm sorry, 03. Okay, it'll typically just change it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. Okay, now I will say that this number there's only two numbers that I ever use, two or three. Two removes the little icon next to the special effect. Three gives it the locked icon. That's all I do. Some other people might do different things. Some other people might try to make inheritables and stuff like that. I don't do any of that. I just either use two or three. That's it. Okay. Now, so now that I've explained all of that, let me show you why um modifying equipment from your inventory is easier than modifying equipment from your storage space. Now, I say easier because if you are new to advanced mode, you want this to be as easy as possible until you get familiar with how things work in advanced mode for Nioh 2. Okay? So, I'm not saying that you can't ever modify equipment from your storage box, but if you're up and coming in advanced mode like I was at one point, I had a hard time modifying equipment that was in my storage box, and here's why. So let me take a moment to look for an item that's already in my storage box, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's see. Hold on one second while I do this really quick. I do apologize. Let's see. So look for an item that I've already modified in my storage bin. Make it a lot easier. Okay, there we go. So Mikazuki Munchika. That's a katana. Okay. So going back to my item list, looking for Mikazuki. There it is. So I haven't changed the way that weapon looks. So the fastest way to find it is to just type in the OF44 twice. So OF44 OF44. Okay. I typed it in twice. Give it a second while it. Okay, OF44, OF404. That's going to be the Mikazuki Munchika katana, right? So hit find, and it'll take me exactly where it's at in my storage box. Okay, that's not a good example. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. Another bad example of what it is I'm trying to show you guys. I promise I'm not crazy. Okay, let's do this one. Maybe this will work. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this item is in the storage box, okay? Now you see where it begins in advanced mode versus where the hatchets began. So instead of being all the way to the left here, it begins right here. Now, everything is still the same, but as you can see, you know, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of like navigate where this first special effect starts. Now, again, because I've been doing this for a little while now, I know exactly where it begins. But to somebody who's just getting started, this is going to look confusing as hell, and that's why I implore you to make sure that any piece of equipment you're planning on modifying is in your inventory and not in your storage box, for the sake of not running into this little issue. When you get more familiar with advanced mode, then by all means, when you see items like this, go ahead and tinker around with them to kind of get used to, modifying equipment in this manner. Um, but yeah, like I said, everything in inventory. That's the simplest way to do it. Okay. All right. Now let's get back to modifying our two pieces of equipment, because this video is now 22 minutes and it's taking a little longer than I had anticipated. But it's all good because this way y'all won't be asking me questions about how to do A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? You guys are going to know exactly how to do it, right? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and find our hatchets again. 27B7 FC90. Again, that's the item and how it looks in the game. Okay. So we already found it really, really quick. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you guys, you know, what the item list looked like on my laptop screen, but my computer is acting stupid. So, you know, again, like I said, just bear with me. Like I said before, I'll make sure to drop a link for the Nioh 2 Discord so you all can hop in and, get to modding yourselves. You know, I can't stress enough how wonderful the folks in that Discord have been to me. Uh, as far, I've had Save Wizard since day one, and I've known all about advanced mode, but I've never done anything with it because I didn't have anybody who was available to teach me. And so I get into the Save Wizard Discord, green as grass, and within a week or two of having conversations with these folks, practicing and testing and so on and so forth, I feel like Neo from the Matrix. I'm a hacker. You know what I'm saying? I hacks. I'm a hacker, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's official. So yeah. So like I said, get in the Discord, holla at these folks. I'm in there all the time as well. Chatting it up with folks, um, dropping videos, sharing knowledge and so on and so forth, and we have a good time too. So yeah. So now let's get to modding this weapon. So I said that with the Zenki and Goki hatchets, I wanted to go ahead and get rid of active skill damage in the Grace of Susano. So I'm using my item list to figure out exactly what the hex IDs are for the two new. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. For the two new special effects that I want to replace active skill in Susano with, and that's going to be melee damage versus purified enemy, and Ame no Uzume's grace, right? Okay. So first things first, and just to give y'all a heads up, the way I'm doing it is I'm just moving, each special effect up. I personally have I don't know if it's a serious case of OCD or if it's a mild case of OCD, but something that just burns me up is seeing special effects just all over the place. You know, for me, it's got to be alphabetical order. I don't know about you guys, but it just does something to me when my special effects are just not in a particular order. I don't know what it is. Like I said, mild, severe, I'm not sure, but whatever. So I'm gonna move the attack effect up one spot. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and move courage up. Okay. And I apologize if I get a little quiet at some point or another. It's just because, like I said, I've been doing this for a little while now, so I will try my best to explain what I'm doing at every point. But there are going to be moments where I'm going to need you guys to just put your big boy, big girl pants on and just follow my lead and just see what I'm doing and copy what I'm doing and then trying it out yourself. Honestly, that's going to be the quickest way for you guys to learn is to just do it yourselves. Um, this tutorial, I hope helps you guys out, but the best way to learn is to just do it yourselves. And if you mess up on an item, it's not a big deal. If you've backed up your save, all you got to do is upload your backup and rinse and repeat. Try again. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I've moved courage up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move magic, which is O2B8. O2B8. And then finally A70F, which is skill. Okay? Right. So now the hex ID for melee damage versus purified is going to be OB50. And the hex ID for Ame no Uzume's Grace is going to be E44F. Okay. Now, like I said, effect, magnitude, footer. Okay. This item has already been modified, so I don't need to mess with the footer. And like I said, magnitude is completely pointless because all the effects have caps. These effects, these hex IDs are the maximum, the highest these effects will go. I can sit here and put FFFFFFFF all over the place. As soon as I upload it to the game, all I'm going to see is plus 76, double A pluses, and so on and so forth. It's not going to go no higher. It's not going to go no lower. Okay? Cool. All right. So hatchets have been modified. They are done. The next item that I'm going to go ahead and modify really quick is going to be the tiger skin helmet. So let me reference back to the item list, search tiger skin. The helmet's going to be BOFE. BOFE. All right. And at the moment, I have it because I've been modifying several tiger skin helmets for several different builds. At the moment, I have it um refashioned to look like a thief's head plate. So let's look for that really quick. Thief. There we go. So the item number is going to be 1D83. Okay. BOFE 1D83. Find. Boom. Takes me right to it. Now, I'm sure you noticed that there were two of them, even though I only have one. From 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 my understanding, the second one is the item that's in your what's this thing called? Your equipment sets. So you know how you're able to, I'll show you really quick. Manage equipment sets and see here you have a whole bunch of builds that you can save and stuff like that. And then you also have the builds tab. Okay. Here you can save a bunch of builds and so on and so forth. My guess is, I'm sorry that it's a little blurry. Um, there we go. My guess is that what that item is in advanced mode is just like a phantom item. So you can modify that item, but once you upload it to the game, it'll look like you never made any modifications in the first place. Which goes back to why I said whenever you find an item in your inventory, always, always, always hit find previous. Because, unfortunately, it's not perfect, and sometimes, it'll make a mistake, and you just have to be vigilant of it, okay? So find previous, make sure it takes you to the item in your inventory, okay? All right, cool. So the plan with this is we're just simply going to change this. We're just simply going to change the attack bonuses on that item. So courage magic skill is what we're going to put on the helmet. So let's see. Hey, mm, all right. Courage magic skill. So let's see. So here's attack, and here is where the attack bonuses begin. So this bonus is the heart bonus. So I'm gonna change that to courage really quick. 97 FC. Here is the skill bonus. I'm gonna change that to magic. Magic is O2 8B. O2 8B. Okay? And then last but not least, skill, which is A7OF. Right? Okay, so that's all I'm doing to this helmet. I'm not doing anything else. Actually, you know what? Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, I'm gonna change the what the item looks like. So, like I said, I've got it fashioned to look like a thief's head plate, right? I'm gonna change it so that it looks like a Ronin's hat. Okay. I like the whole Raiden look, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at all of my builds, I got the Raiden hat on. I I don't care what y'all say. It's sexy. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love Raiden. I bet. So let's do it. So I'm gonna change that really quick. Let's find it in the item list. Ronin's faceplate, I think is what it's called. If I'm not mistaken, yep, Ronin's faceplate. The code for that is 9F5E. Okay, 9F5E. Okay, done. That's it. Again, for first timers, this is going to take a while. And it might not if you're familiar with inputting code and so on and so forth. But if you're as green as I was when I started, something as simple as this took a long time. But don't get discouraged. Don't get frustrated. Just understand that it's a little bit of a learning curve. But once you get past that curve, you'll be able to modify anything and everything in the game without issue, okay? So let's hit apply. It's going to give you the prompt. Are you sure? Of course I am, because I know what I'm doing. I'm a hacker. I'm a professional hacker. You know what I'm saying? I do this for a living. Psych, I'm just playing. Please, YouTube, do not close my account. I'm kidding. I'm not a hacker for real. I'm just doing this for fun, okay? All right. So it's all downloaded. All right. We hit OK. We remove our USB stick. All right. I'll set this down for a second while I get everything situated on my PlayStation. Copy the system storage. Just give it a few moments while we wait. Um, I just got to say, for those of you who've been giving me some feedback about my videos, I really appreciate it. Um, this is all new territory for me, and I'm hopeful that this becomes something big. Not sure if it will, but I'm very hopeful that I can take what I love and turn it into something that can not only provide for me, but provide for my family as well. So with that being said, thank you all so much for all the positive feedback. I really really thoroughly appreciate it. Like I said in my last video, I got about 46, 47 subscribers. I love you all so much, but I'm trying to get them numbers up quick. So like I said, if you're watching the video and you're a subscriber, share my video. Let folks know that I'm out here dropping content as often as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So let's go and take